Okay, an impromptu part 2 of the electrical cord care and safety video. So I'm showing this picture to you for a reason. You'll have to pardon my lack of editing capabilities here. I have no technical editing capabilities here, but that's why I'm showing this picture to you in my redneck editing way. So take note of that young man's hand. You can see the burns there at the base of his middle finger. Also, by way of redneck editing, I want to show that picture to you also. So this picture is a good illustration. You can see well, at least 2 of the 3 prongs that stick up out of the plug are bending off to the right. And it's interesting that you'll see this charring mark to the left of the plug. So my guess, and it's not much of a guess, I'm pretty sure that's what happened, is this was being tugged out of the wall to one side, and as we talked about, there was some arcing going on at the base of those prongs, and possibly inside here, inside the plug, because it was being stressed and pulled. Anyway, so you can see how the fire, literally fire, or there's smoke and soot, there's fire, was coming out of the cord, or out of the plug. Okay, there's a reason I'm showing this to you. I'm going to move y'all over to this bench. It was, the reason I'm filming this is it was about 10 minutes after I made the first video that I got a call from an area supervisor who said, hey, we're sending in an extension cord. I haven't seen it yet, but will you please send a picture of the extension cord to me? So I want to see how bad it was. So I showed that picture of that young man's hand. That was the culprit. This was an extension cord being used on a backpack vacuum. And my guess, and again, it's not much of a guess, I think I know, the way they were keeping this cord attached to the vacuum was, imagine this was the cord coming out of the vacuum. My guess is this is the manner that it was being held into the vacuum. And as we talked about in part 1, this is a fairly extreme bend or strain on the cord. And again, you do that so many times, and something's going to break. And what happened this time is the electrical, the copper cords inside the housing here broke. So when the student went to plug this back in, well, it's fairly obvious that some fire shot out of here, almost in a welding fashion, and burned his hand. Not only did it burn his hand, it's totally a fire hazard. Okay, so that asks the question, how do we keep our cord stuck to our vacuum? Attached to our vacuum, I should say. Here's a perfect example, because this is a brand new vacuum, but on any of your backpack vacuums, this is basically how it should be attached to the vacuum. This unit right here is called a cord strain relief or something to that effect. It does just that. It relieves the strain on the cord. If you do not have one of these on your backpack vacuum, you absolutely need to have one, because otherwise you're going to tie your cord in a knot and create that hazard that you just saw. I'm going to share a link in the description of where to find these. And, well, actually, I mean, if you want one, call the shop and we'll order some for you. But the link I'm going to share also has some good information, good diagrams on how and how not to use these strings. All right, say you have a strain relief, a cord strain relief on your vacuum. How do you attach it? Well, I'll show you. Okay, it looks similar to this, or exactly like this. Take the cord about, oh gosh, go like this. 1, 2, go about 2 lengths of your hand, and just fold it like that. Okay, easy, easy. And from the back of the strain relief, you're going to stick this through. Okay, easy, easy. Take your already made loop and put it over the little hook and give it a tug, and your cord is now firmly in place. And then you can take the business end and plug it without any strain into the vacuum. Now again, I realize this is a brand new vacuum, and a lot of your vacuums may not look this nice or have this same setup, but if you do use the cord strain relief, this plug will not be strained, and you will eliminate, I shouldn't say eliminate, you'll greatly reduce the risk of it exploding in your hands and burning your hands. So there you go. Oh, one more thing that I just reminded myself of, I thought of. I think this is a good example of you should do a periodic cord inspection. Wherever you have a cord that plugs into the wall or into your vacuum or any type of cord, I'm not going to say how often you should do it, but I'll just say a periodic cord inspection. You may see a small example of, and we'll go back to the star of part 1. You may see something like that, and you may be able to avoid a burnt hand, and could be even worse. So anyway, again, if you have any questions, please call the shop.